Yayo, 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 ho ho, set sail for Fun Piece. It's the name of the podcast with Matt and Mike. Yayo, yayo, set sail for Fun Piece.
Lead it. I'm doing it. It's happening. Yeah.
All right, we just don't touch the table.
Don't touch anything. Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the Fun Piece Podcast.
For you, it's been a week. For us, it's been 2 weeks.
It has. Cracking that goodness.
This podcast is brought to you by Cape Cod Beer Beach Blonde.
Yes. All right. I'm doing this. Can you talk one more time?
Yeah, I can talk one more time. This is how I'm going to talk the entire time. Is this good?
I think we're good now. I think we're good.
Cool.
Possibly. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. This is Matt.
This is Mike.
And welcome to a virginal tour of
The One Piece world.
One Piece.
We've been exploring the East Blue as we follow
the adventures.
The adventures of our favorite pirate crew, the Straw Hats, which I don't know if they're called that yet in the show, but I just know that they're called that.
I don't think they're officially called the Straw Hats yet, but I think they're on their way to becoming the Straw Hats. Yeah. Sorry, everyone, if it sounds like audio hell this week. I fucked up and lost our regular microphones. Hey, cat! But we will have our regular microphones back next week.
Don't you worry about it. We're both drinking.
Yep. Anyway, the historian and I got married, and we had a good week off, if any of you care. You better.
I know 2 of you do.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah.
And we had a wedding, and it happened. The historian probably won't be on the episode today.
Yeah.
Because they're busy playing video games.
Yeah, there's a game called... What is it called? It's
called Meow.
It's this... Yeah, okay, Meow.
It's called Meow C. It's called Under Look Away 2.
Oh, I see.
Someone will get it, and they're going to think that's really funny.
It took me a minute.
Yeah.
It took me a minute.
Under Look Away 2. Anyway, this week's episode of the podcast, we did our best to watch One Piece episodes 39 to 45, which should be the finale of the Arlong arc.
Yeah, 45 was a lot of stuff. But also not a lot of stuff.
Yeah, 45 was like a lot of filler, but also like some good
setting things. It was like a nice little like period to
Yeah.
a full sentence that was Arlong Park.
Yeah. You know, I was looking at today. We're approaching the end of season 1.
Oh,
One
really?
Piece. Yeah, I think it's like 60 something episodes. Meow. It's like 60. Oh god, 61 episodes is at 61 episodes. That's the end of season 1. So we're like very close.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh man. Sorry, I'm drinking beer, so I'm gonna be burpy,
Hey,
which is good for
what the people like.
podcast.
Also, if you've been interacting with our Twitter page, that's super sweet. If you haven't yet, check out the Fun Piece podcast.
Twitter, which is
Twitter.com.
it's twitter.com. You go to www.twitter.com, and we are at Fun Piece Podcast.
And it might be a / or a backslash in there somewhere, but
Probably.
who's to say what it is?
We got 7 followers. Wowzers. I will try to do better. I don't know how to do social media too well, but I'm going to figure it out.
Hey, we're going to
I might have my partner take care of some of it, or help me, or teach me, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we jump right into this?
Yeah. I finished Ranking of Kings, which in
Okay.
24, 25 episodes.
Yep.
Damn.
Ranking of Kings.
It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's like, it felt like a deconstruction of what One Piece is, or what Dragon Ball is.
Really?
Yeah. But also, like, not, I don't know. It's really good.
I'll put it on the list.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm telling all you guys, fuck One Piece. Go watch Ranking of Kings.
stop following along and watching with us. I'm pretty sure the historian is caught up on One Piece. Historian,
Yeah,
are you caught up on One Piece?
I am.
Wow.
Whoa, what a
Episodes and manga chapters.
Whoa.
what a feat of
I think that's how you get put in the show.
yeah. During our honeymoon last week, the historian was reading the catching up on One Piece, and every time she like got to a different part that was very exciting, I guess she was like, "I can't wait for you and Mike to get here
In 10 years.
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, it's gonna be a while," and she's like, "You need to go faster," and I was like, I don't know if I could go faster. 7 episodes in one episode seems like a lot right now, but we're gonna do it.
Yeah. I do think at this point with the Arlong Park stuff, I did hit that like feeling of if I was just watching it without like the measurement of recording a podcast, I probably would have just started digging in deep and going hard watching it.
I mean, to be fair, which I'm sure if all of you have seen this before, I feel like episodes 39 to 43 very much blended together because it was just like fighting.
Oh, like even
So I don't even know if we want to like break it up like that or we can just like talk about.
I feel like 39 is like Zoro's thing, and then
40 is
like Sanji / Usopp.
Yeah.
Usopp I think has a better fight than Sanji. Sanji's fight is like nothing. It's good. It's just I don't know. It was just like gets beat up and then he blows a fish man and then he kicks a fish man.
Yeah.
Usopp had a little bit more going on.
Yeah.
And then 41 through 43 are just I don't have notes written down. I remember some stuff that happens. It's a good fight.
Yeah.
It's a very good fight.
Oh yeah.
The episodes I've titled Luffy Fight 1, Luffy Fight 2, Luffy Fight 3.
Yeah, that's literally all it is. It's just like fight.
And then some stuff happens.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Oh yeah.
Not as drawn out as Dragon Ball fights, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sure we'll get there.
Should we jump right in onto this?
Yeah. Episode 39, which I titled We Got Like 9 Swords in This One.
There were I mean there were probably only 7 swords.
So, no, there's because...
Well, Zoro has 1 sword.
But then he catches Yasuko and Johnny's swords.
Yes. Sorry.
He's got the bro swords.
He's got the big bro swords.
Big bro sword.
And then that's true. Okay, that is true. The numbers don't lie. They spell disaster for you, Hachi. Zoro slices Hachi's hair and he's mad, but then he's fine.
Yeah.
He does his little wiggly hands.
My note just says Zoro has a big sword with Hachi. I think I meant to write sword fight. There is the good part where like Zoro goes to like slash at Hachi and Hachi's like, my 3-arm or like my 3-clap sword catch technique or whatever, and it just goes like
fucking misses
and just completely botches it. Hachi's a good guy. There's like a whole back and forth. We kind of go back and forth between what Genzo and Nachiko are doing.
Yeah.
But
they're trying to save Luffy.
The Hachi Zoro side is like Hachi's got some good moments where he like draws out the fight because you see that Zoro's like bleeding out.
Yeah, and he's like, and then it's like Zoro hasn't recovered yet from his wounds, which is interesting because he like so easily fucking just like destroyed all the other fishmen.
Yeah.
Earlier, but that's anime.
That's probably why he's so weak now.
Yeah.
It does feel like the show is like if we don't cripple Zoro in some way, he would have killed everybody. Like Zoro does seem scarier than Luffy.
Yeah. He has that great fucking line where when he's facing off with Hachi and he's like about to pass out, and then like. he then gets back up and he goes, 6 blades, what a loser. And then he says, until I see Hawkeye Mihawk again, death cannot touch me. And it's just like,
Yeah. Zoro's gonna be a fucking, again, does feel like the main character throughout a lot of this.
yeah. Because Luffy just ends up getting like shoved to the side, like, oh, and then he's fucking.
Yeah. It is like the weird. It felt like a little less contrived because at least like Zoro's whole injury was like kind of longer term.
Yeah.
And then like it felt like Luffy was in the water for a while, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
They do pump that kid's chest for a while.
They do. They pump his chest.
Oh, I guess that's like, so he's like in the water with the cement shoes.
Yeah.
And then Genzo and Najiko, for some reason, not Dr. Grandpa, go.
Maybe he's not a good swimmer. Maybe he can't be trifled with swimming.
Can't be bothered. He's a man of many talents, as we will learn.
He's got, the whole the I almost said patriotic oath. It's not patriotic oath. The oath that doctors take. Hippocratic oath. Yeah. HIPAA.
That's why he can't. Part of the Hippocratic oath is you can't do doctor stuff underwater.
You can't do doctor stuff underwater. Yeah, it's not a Hippocratic oath.
Oh,
I don't know if that's it might be a
Everybody
Hippocratic. It might be a Hippocratic.
that's one of the other fishmen. Hippos are fish.
If we're getting that wrong, everyone, send us a message on funpeacepodcast@gmail.com or on our Twitter.
Or slander us on Twitter, please.
Yeah, slander us on Twitter.
Anything.
Come on.
Bad attention is good attention.
Yeah. Post
guys.
Post weird fanfic images of us on the lewd Fun Piece subreddit.
Do it. If you don't, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. Anyway, Big Lips Phil's still chasing Usopp. Najiko and Genzo are trying to help Luffy.
Yep.
Sanji gets fucking laid out, and he's just like on the ground smoking a cigarette.
He gets like launched through a wall. Background MVP, by the way, is Dr. Grandpa again.
Always.
He got another badge.
Yep. I love that Sanji's just like smoking a cigarette, laying on the ground. And he's just like, "Oh, old man's kicks were 100 times worse than that, and I never died."
I mean, I will go back. Like, you get Sanji away from women.
He's so good.
He's really good.
Keep him away from women.
He's got the back and forth with like, he's definitely kind of building that weird rivalry thing with Zoro.
Yeah.
Which comes up later too in a funny way. But he's just like, oh, I knew it. You are hurt. Like, you fucking idiot. Mm-hmm. I think they're gonna become like best friends at some point.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
What is the name of this stupid Stingray man?
They said it. Arlong said it like at one of the later episodes, and I heard it and went, "Oh, that's his name," and then didn't write it down because I was like, I don't care.
Yeah. No, he's like somehow the most boring one, but he is a 40th Dan or 40th Dan in fish karate.
Yeah.
And then he gets blown underwater by curly eyebrow
Sanji.
Chef Man.
Yes, Chef Man, yes.
Yeah, he does some cool underwater spinny attacks and stuff. And
yeah, I think I copied it. Yeah, the Fishman karate forearm sledge.
Yeah.
Zoro, he's doing perfect sword skill, perfect concentration. If I'm ever to face Hawkeye Mihawk again, I must be extraordinary. Mm-hmm. And he does his dragon twister move and shatters Hachi's swords.
Yeah. Oh, he's got the streaming wolf swords move in there.
Yeah.
Cuts him up a little bit.
It cuts to Nami, and she's cleaning up her arm, and she's coughing for some reason.
Yeah.
Why is she coughing?
Maybe because she's so just worked up over the whole situation.
I guess. I just thought it was weird. I was
maybe
like,
she
stabbed herself in the arm. Why are you coughing? Maybe she's got puke.
Yeah, maybe she ate a bunch of tangerines afterward and got one stuck in her throat. Did she cough up blood? I don't remember.
I don't know. I think she was just coughing. She was like wrapping up her arm.
Yeah.
I just seen it said it's super stupid.
It's realistic. Sometimes people just cough for no reason.
It's true. I'm probably going to cough during this thing. It's fine because I got a lot of sawdust in my lungs today, so it's fine. That's not a lie. I did get a lot of sawdust in my lungs today. Sanji's Zoro's trying to like crawl towards the water, and Sanji's like, "Don't go in the water," and then he jumps in the water,
Reveals those dogs.
showing off those dogs.
He leaps into the water.
He takes off his shoes and puts on his shoes so fast, always.
Wait, hold on. Hey Google, show me pictures of Sanji's feet.
No, why?
Sanjay.
What?
Who's Sanjay?
Sanjay's feet. Who's that?
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
All right, we don't need to see
Whoa!
this. Stop
No, this
it.
first one is a picture of feet, but they've got abs.
Those are definitely. Can we post that on the Twitter?
Huh?
The abs, the feet with abs. Can you put that on the Twitter?
I'm looking at some of these while we're going. Oh god, why can he do that with his feet?
I don't care. Can you put the feet with abs on?
Yeah.
What does it say?
It just says Sanji's feet.
That's how we're gonna get. This is how we're gonna get the followers on Twitter. Is with these.
Can't download securely. What website am I on?
All right, folks. We promise we will get this photo of feet with abs onto the Twitter. Should we jump to the next episode?
What are we doing? Oh yeah. They at the end of this one we see that they're doing. Sanji's feet are Genzo and Najiko were trying to break the cement, but they couldn't do it. So Najiko pulls Luffy's head out of the water, stretching him, and then Genzo's just doing
Chest compressions.
a lot of chest compressions.
Yeah, pump that water out of his lungs.
And then we're on episode 40, which I titled "Why Didn't Dr. Grandpa Go to Do CPR?" And it's because he has the Hippocratic Oath, where only hippos.
He doesn't have a hippo.
Or he doesn't have. He has a Hippocratic Oath, but not a
Hippocratic Oath, not a Hippocratic Oath.
Background MVP for this episode, Dr. Grandpa.
I hope it's a clean sweep.
There just wasn't a lot.
That's
wasn't
fair.
a lot of background. I mean, there's just like the villagers and like I don't know. None of them are as cool as Dr. Grandpa.
That's fair. I think Dr. Grandpa and Genzo are like so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Both of them. Like Genzo's still underwater giving chest compressions, and it's been a very long time.
If we ever go to a convention,
Oh, Dr. Grandpa and
should
Genzo?
we be Dr. Grandpa and Genzo?
I think that'd be pretty fun.
that would be fun.
Would you want to be Dr. Grandpa, or would you like to be Genzo?
I'm indifferent. I
Yeah.
could go with either, just because
Okay.
I like them both so much. Genzo's great.
You have to do a lot of makeup to do all the scars all over your face.
I'm just gonna cut myself with a sword.
get a fucking but that'd be really fun. As a pinwheel hat.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Hey. If we were to ever go to a convention and Mike were to dress up as Dr. Grandpa and I dressed up as Genzo, would you dress up as Dead Bellamere?
We do have to break your arm. Silence.
What kind of question is that?
Hey, can you also send us a weird image from a future episode of One Piece?
Like right now?
I mean, soon.
Like whenever.
In like 25 minutes.
We've only done one episode so far.
1 of 7. All right, we gotta keep moving.
Jesus Christ. It's gonna go by at a clip.
Yeah.
Sanji fights the lamest fishman under the water. Sanji cannot breathe underwater.
He says, if I want to save Nami, first thing I have to do is save myself. And then he starts bleeding out of the mouth.
Yeah.
Is that what happens when you start drowning? Do you bleed out of the mouth?
I don't
I had a lot of questions
I
for
don't
this
think
episode.
so. I know drowning is reportedly one of the like there's like a rush of euphoria people have reported when they almost drowned.
Yeah. But
Because I did
do you-
research in high school about drowning
Yeah.
for a project.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. If someone out there knows, let me know.
Yeah.
Sanji Galaxy Brains and just like bites whatever fishman's body and his gills.
He like covers one set and then he blows them in the other.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, he can't breathe oxygen. He's only using his lungs under here. So if I blow oxygen into his lungs, it's gonna fuck him up.
Yeah.
And it does.
And it does. And he gets out of the water.
Yeah. And this bad, awful, third-rate fish man says some stuff. He's like, oh, you think you're gonna save Nami? Something about he's just shitting on Sanji.
Yeah.
That sets Sanji off, where he goes on a kicking spree, just being like neck, stomach,
Yeah.
back. And then eventually face shot and just boots him in the face through the building.
Yeah, kicks him into oblivion, and then he just goes, in the end, they're all just fish food. Fish can't fight a cook.
God. He says a lot of stuff that's like, I bet you'd taste really good with butter.
Yeah, it's so
like-
good. It's so good. Just great one-liners all around. And then Najiko says, for the first time, I think I have hope.
Because of Sanji.
Because of Sanji.
Sanji does kick the ever-loving shit out of this guy. After getting knocked through a solid rock wall.
Yeah, and then also, like, suplexed into the bottom of the fucking water pool where his, like, rib cage is being, like, crashed in by the pressure.
Sanji's a tough motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Zoro, too. I think...
Zoro's, like, hands on the toughest motherfucker.
Yeah, I think for all the villagers, like, seeing just the two of them, just, like, fucking regular dudes, just fucking...
Yeah.
Wiping the floor with fishmen, they're like, oh, shit, this is fucking incredible. Usopp. We go over to Usopp.
Yeah. I got pretty, like, vague notes. I liked this fight because I think it's, like, a good turning point for Usopp.
Yeah.
Kind of goes, like, up and down. But he's, like, running away from Chu and then just, like, uses a ketchup star to, like, make it look like he's just dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I forget, Chu shoot him with water first and then he, like... I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I was in and out of sleep as I was watching this, so I like woke back up and rewound.
Something happens and Usopp's on the ground.
Usopp's on the ground. He's got fake blood. He's trying to make it seem like he's dead, but then he starts like reminiscing on everyone else and like their bravery.
Yeah, and he's like, I've got to be brave too.
And he's like, he's crying about being a liar. He's like, I'm not gonna be a liar anymore. So then he calls Big Lips Phil, a.k.a. Chu, a son of a bitch. But then, sorry, I'm getting loud, and I'm moving away from the microphone. He yells, hey, Big Lips.
Yeah.
And I lost my mind. I was like, he used Big Lips. He said it, Big Lips Phil. He used his true name. And I was very excited. He slingshots Big Lips, but then gets pounded into the dust.
Yep. There's a lot of back and forth. I don't remember the order of things. I know he
hits him with a hammer.
Oh yeah, and then he does the rubber band.
Yes, but then he runs away.
Which, and we will find later on, this just paralyzes whoever he aims it at.
Yeah.
Like, because they're so unnerved by the idea of getting hit in the face with a rubber band. Which I think is very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, hammers him, runs away. He
throws a bottle of sake.
Yeah.
And then it gets all over Big Lips. And then Big Lips does squirt cannon.
Yeah, he sucks the shit out of this little rice paddy field or whatever it is. And
he, like, decimates part of the forest. And then Usopp's
misses.
right next to him. He's like, oh, no.
Yeah, it's like pan over, like you see destroyed forest, and then look over and Usopp's just right there and just missed.
And then he does a squirt machine gun. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like, pow, 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 and Usopp's just like, if I make it out of this, I'm not going to be afraid anymore. I'm going to be a brave pirate. And then he busts out with a slingshot. And
yeah, the like incendiary, I don't know, it's like fire star or whatever he calls them. He lights him on fire. And then Big Lips Phil runs back to the water to extinguish himself. And then Usopp just murders him with a hammer.
Yep.
This is the one fishman who I think is dead. I think Chu died.
For sure.
I think Usopp took a life.
She was fucking dead. Absolutely. Just like commits a full murder.
Yeah, Usopp commits a war crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think it wraps with Nami showing up.
Yep.
Because, like, Arlong, like, throws water. He, like, has just water in his hand, and he's just hitting Sanji with it.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even need to touch you to hit you. You guys can't even handle water.
And then Nami shows up.
Nami interrupts, and she's like, I'm going to fucking kill you, Arlong.
Yep.
And then you get the scary Nami eyes.
And that's the end of it.
And then I'm really going in. I mean, like, I remember this fight, but I loosely remember the sequence and how things go. Mm-hmm. But we'll just go with it. This episode, 41, is a Luffy fight.
Sure.
1.
Luffy fight 1.
Background MVP? It's Dr. Grandpa.
It starts with Arlong's like trying to make a deal for Nami, being like, I just want Nami. I'll leave everybody else alone. I just want Nami. Yeah. And then there's a weird spiderweb metaphor happening.
Oh yeah, the spider, the moth going to the thing and then like crawling down, and Nami's like having the internal conflict.
Yeah,
she's like, oh, if I do this, I can protect everyone, but I don't know, something.
Yeah. And then Luffy wakes up.
Yeah, dramatic. Just a huge spout of water, and I think Nami is like, he's okay, and like Zoro and stuff, they all figure out that he's okay, and Arlong is like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. So then Zoro and Sanji are there, and Zoro's like, 30 seconds, that's all I got. And Sanji's like, that's all I need. And again, takes off his shoes.
It's harder that way.
He dies in the water. And then Usopp shows up. And then he's like, I killed Shu, one of the best fishermen out there. And then Arlong's like, oh no, my favorite Big Lips fool.
I do love Usopp has pissed off Arlong the most to this point.
Yeah.
Luffy will piss him off more.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I love this. It cut over and Genzo's just like holding Luffy's head and Luffy's just like talking with him.
Yeah.
And then Hachi appears and Zoro's like, fuck.
Oh yeah, and then he like leaps into the water to go after Sanji.
Yep.
And then there is a dramatic moment where he starts punching the water a bunch, like he's going to do a bunch of punches. And then it cut to commercial.
Yeah.
It did like the little commercial stinger on my end. Yeah. I'm watching on Funimation.
Yep.
Which is great. Because consistently, especially these couple episodes, it's somebody just like bleeding and something dramatic happening. It's like, are they dead? And it goes bum ba da ba da ba da bum 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 bum. Bum. Yeah.
Maybe I should watch that Funimation.
It's the stinger's good. I don't know why they took it out of Netflix. I guess it like cuts out a couple seconds, but like it is very comical how often it interrupts something dramatic.
Yeah.
He bleeds out though. Zoro's like, yeah, the thing is, if you want your wounds to heal, you gotta stay still and rest. And his like whole chest explodes.
Yeah, Arlong had like stabbed Zoro with his nose. He's like crushing Zoro, and he rips his bandage off, and he's like, how is someone alive with all of these wounds like this? And then
Arlong is amazed that Zoro is like, is Zoro even human?
Yeah, and then Zoro, that's where Zoro says that if someone stays put, their wounds won't open up. And then Arlong's like, well, that's not going to be any help with you right now. And he's like, I'm not talking about me. And then you see Hachi in the water, and he's like,
blood just shooting out of him.
Yeah. So then Sanji kicks Luffy free.
Yep. For a very extended sequence.
Yeah. And then he yells at him, and he's like, oh, yeah, screw you for getting there for the first place. Just all pissed off. Luffy gets out.
Genzo's just like, are you free? And Luffy's like, yeah. And then he shoots up into the air.
Yeah.
What?
Did you get the screen cap?
Not yet. We haven't looked yet.
There.
Okay. Luffy launches out of the water.
Yeah, and then he's like, let's switch places, and he like shoots his arms onto Zoro and just launches Zoro back and uses the momentum to bring himself down in front of Arlong.
Yeah. And then he just starts stretching.
Yeah.
He's like,
oh, it's so good. Is this the episode where they have like the back and forth where Arlong's like, do you know what the difference between you and me is? And there's just a long pause. And Luffy just goes,
I think that's the next
episode. Is that the next one? Oh,
yeah.
It's that one. That's very.
They all freaking blur together because it's just the same fight.
Does he just stretch for the rest of this?
He's stretching for a while, and then like Arlong.
I think he gets some punches.
He goes to bite Luffy, and then Luffy just like moves his head out of the way.
Yeah. There's probably some punches and some kicks that happen.
And then he's like, I'm not losing to a fish man because I'm going to be the king of the pirates. And that's like the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah. I think it's like even like on the to be continued, just like king of the pirates.
Yeah.
Next episode is that great moment Where he's like, do you know what the difference between you and me is? And
Yeah.
Luffy just long pause, and he's like, your nose, your jawline,
Your jawline.
It's like, no, my species, and he kicks the shit out of him. Is this the one with the teeth? I think this is the one.
Yes,
with the
this
teeth.
is the one with the teeth. Luffy gets swords.
Yeah, Luffy does get swords and cannot use them.
He's just like,
I don't know what his thought process was here, but I think the swords helped him break the teeth. I think that was kind of his strategy.
I think so.
Like, he knows that Arlong's gonna bite the sword, so he like gets Arlong to bite the sword. He's still got sword bits in his teeth, and then Luffy punches him so hard his teeth break.
Yep.
And
And everyone says it, and everyone says it out loud.
Yeah.
Literally, everyone in the background's like, he shattered his teeth. He shattered his teeth. He shattered his teeth.
Start of a Disney musical. Oh man, what if there's a musical episode?
I think there is. I think we talked about it last.
Did we?
Historian
I don't
said that
remember.
there's someone who there's a villain who
Makes people sing.
sings their own songs. Arlong says, "What can a half-wit rubber captain do?" And Luffy says, "I can kick your ass." and Sanji says, "Well, get to it." And then Zoro says, "If he dies, I'm gonna kill him."
That one's good. Yeah, I like that. At this point, Zoro's just like washed up on the other side
He's
of
just
the
like,
pool. Yeah, this whole fight, part of the fight is crazy because Arlong just takes the old teeth out
yeah,
and throws them aside. And he's like, every time I'm a part shark, so every time my teeth fall out, the new ones grow in twice as strong, and just keeps pulling teeth out of his mouth.
yeah. And then Luffy keeps like smashing them and pulling them out, and
Yeah, and he makes brass knuckles out of his teeth, and like there's like, or he like little
yeah, the little
clappers.
Yeah,
There's a whole back and forth there. I know Luffy gets bit a couple times.
he gets bit, and then he shouts for a really long time.
Yeah,
And he's like, "Ah!" And then he like stomps his foot down and shoves Arlong into the ground to loosen up the bite on his elbow. And then Arlong.
oh yeah, there's like a whole thing where it's like if he had pulled back, his arm would have been ripped off. But
Yeah.
Luffy doesn't have very good instincts or something, so he just stayed there and slammed him down.
Yeah. Arlong jumps into the water.
Yeah. Is this before or after Luffy puts Arlong's teeth in his own mouth?
I think that's after. Yeah, I think he does that first.
Okay, because that was great, and everybody's like, "What the fuck? Like, what are you doing?"
It's like, what is this? And why?
It's a good idea. I like that Luffy tries things that don't work.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a trained professional. He's learning.
He is. He's
That's-
very adaptable.
Yeah, which is how he will one day become the king of the pirates. Arlong jumps in the water. Crap.
Yeah. He like can increase his speed. They're twice as strong in the water.
Yeah.
Mathematically.
He's doing his shark darts.
Yeah, and he shoots out a couple times before Luffy figures out he can. He's like gum shield and puts his fingers in like a little like cross stitch pattern thing
And like catches him.
Yeah, and that like blocks his nose from hitting him.
Yeah, and then he's like, now I know how to stop you. And then he does it again, and then he does the gum finger net.
Yeah, and just slams him into the ground.
He slams him into the ground, and while he's doing that, he just goes fishing, which was
I missed that part.
I was dying. It was just like screaming fishing.
Luffy, man, Luffy fighting is very good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for
Oh, yeah.
where this goes.
And then they fight, and then they end up smashing into the building and landing in the left room on the top floor.
Yeah, and Nami's like, oh, and we see that it's full of paper, and
Paper.
Luffy's like, what's all this paper in this room?
And it turns out that this was the room that Nami writes all of the sea charts.
Yeah, it's more valuable than all the treasure on the island.
It's really funny that Arlong all of a sudden gets very like almost scientific about it, and he's like,
this is after Arlong loses his shit. He goes into rage mode.
yeah,
And then he gets the sawtooth sword and is like smashing up the building a whole bunch of times. I do want to point out there's a lot of good leg work. This is very specific, but I really like when Luffy does like the sumo squat foot slam and then just kicks somebody.
Yeah.
I find that very satisfying. And then Arlong also does like a sumo squat like foot slam, but with the sword.
with the sword, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, they end up in this room.
Yeah, he gets very scientific about, like, he's like, the fishmen are very good at capturing, like, sea knowledge all across the planet.
Yeah.
Or all across the world. But
He's got, like, the energy of somebody online who's, like, trying to politely defend their racist values. Right? He's like, no. If you look at the science, it's just the way their skulls are shaped.
Yeah.
Like, their brains are... And it's like, no, what the fuck?
What the fuck? And he's like, no, but she's the only one who can decipher all of our sea knowledge into these sea charts.
Yeah.
And that's why she is the most valuable person.
It's like, you all are rats, and she is a cute kitty.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
I love a good map. I love a good sea chart. I'm Arlong.
I think, I still like Arlong as a villain.
Yeah.
But he's definitely just, like, a racist little piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Yeah, he hates humans. He's fucking, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Luffy just was like, Nami is not... Or he just, like, shouts, Nami is our navigator.
Yeah. And then we cut to... Oh, did I say the background MVP for this one?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Dr. Grandpa.
It's Dr. Gramps. Still Gramps. Still Gramps.
We only get him for so long.
Episode 43.
Yep.
Luffy Fight 3.
Yep.
I'm just going to say it, background MVP. Not who you think. It's Zoro this time.
Oh! I was like, Dr. Grandpa? Dr. Grandpa?
Zoro's just sitting there bleeding out. He's doing great. But he wakes up at the end of this one.
He does.
He's like, oh, is it over?
Arlong's got that shark saw, Luffy. Oh, bad.
Yeah, the first choke of this fight is Luffy realizing that this is a prison cell. This is what's keeping Nami here. And these are maps made from blood. Not like he even has the pen. He's like, there's blood on this pen.
Yeah.
And he's got his hand on Arlong's sword. And Arlong at one point is like, I can't move the sword.
Yeah.
And then Luffy breaks a part of it and then just starts wrecking the room, kicking a desk out, like throwing papers, getting Arlong to cut stuff. And there's a whole fucking thing where Johnny and Yasuko are just like, was that Big Brother Luffy? I didn't think that was Big Brother Luffy. I thought that was Arlong who fell. I was like, no, you didn't. You thought it was Big Brother Luffy.
There was that, but also, I think the funniest thing was Luffy kicks the desk out of the building, and then, like, everyone's like, a desk? A desk? A desk? Was that a desk?
Nami's like,
my desk.
my desk. Yeah, there was a weird... one of those things you can see, like, there's stretching for time or something.
Yeah, they flash back Nami as a child, and she's, like, at the desk.
Yeah. Getting some of the, like, reuse and some of that stuff.
Yep.
Arlong being a piece of shit.
Yep. Luffy's destroying the room. We go back. Luffy's destroying a room, and Arlong's like, 8 years of work and planning and ambition. Mm-hmm. And Luffy's just like,
yeah. Throwing the sea charts everywhere. The only thing he'd do here for the rest of the fight is he, like, does the gum battle axe.
Yeah, I think so. Because he goes to, like, cut the whole building in half.
Yeah.
And then it's just everyone outside not seeing the fight, but just, like, making commentary on the fight as if they were watching it.
Yeah.
Because they just, like, see, like, shit flying out of the building. Like, that's it. Someone was just like, a fight to the death. This is so freaking intense.
Yeah, just hearing some crashing coming from a room upstairs, and then a foot shoots out of the roof.
Yep. Everyone's very emotional.
I liked that, like, I think the fights aren't like people getting hit. Like, when people get hit, it feels meaningful to an extent.
Yeah.
So I like when the Gum Battle Axe, like, goes up, and then I forget what the move Arlong does. He, like, spinning shark blade, whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have the name of it.
I don't have the name of it.
He just spins around, bites Luffy, and then Luffy brings his foot down and crushes him through, like, the entire building.
Yeah.
And just, like, completely dismantles the place.
Yeah.
And Arlong's finger quote's dead, and everybody's like, oh no, what happened to Luffy? He was in there.
Yeah.
And he just hops out, and he's like, I'm fine.
As that's happening, everyone is shouting. And I just wanted to make a comment about anytime, like, anyone in this show, like, shouts or yells or something, or is in awe of something, their faces elongate so much. Usopp, like, the most, because Usopp's jaw goes, like, below his nipples, and, like, his eyes shoot out, and he's like, bah! But, like, everyone's face was doing that in this moment.
Yeah, I think that's another thing. I've talked about it before, but like this show, while being an anime and like manga, right? I think it takes a lot from like Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's very Looney Tunes and how it handles like certain interactions and situations.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like
it's really
Usopp's
fun.
whole thing is just being like a Tom and Jerry type character.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like laying traps and shit.
Yeah. It's very fun. I very much enjoy that. But yeah, so that happens. Luffy destroys the building. Everyone's like, whoa! And then Zoro wakes up.
Yeah, he's like, oh. It's over. Yes, it's fine. I forget what I think I like looked away or had to do something, or a cat threw up or something whenever Luffy pops up. I don't remember. I think he just hops out of the wreckage. Or is there something dramatic?
I'm trying to... I have like Luffy destroys the building. Zoro wakes up. Luffy kills Arlong. Everyone's pumped as fuck.
I know he like yells like, Nami, you'll always be my friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
She gets very emotional at that.
And then fucking Mouse Man Nezumi, the Marine fuckface shows up to ruin the party.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yes, well, now that Arlong and the fishermen are gone, now I can take all of their treasures and belongings as well as your money. And
Zoro kicks Luffy's gonna beat him up.
Zoro fucks him up.
Yeah. Zoro fucks him up.
And then Nami comes and she goes, this is for shooting Najiko and ruining Bellamir's tangerine orchard. And then messes him up some more. Everyone's coming together, cleaning up. Oh, and then Nami asks him that the Marines have to clean up after like the fishermen in Arlong Park. They have to rebuild Goza Village, and then give me my money back, jerk. So that happens.
And he runs away, being like, "You guys will regret this. You'll never forget. You'll get what's coming to you." Blah blah blah. I think they do like a hip hip hooray with Luffy, and then they drop him.
Yep, and then Genzo says, Bellamir's spirit can finally be at peace.
Yeah.
And then cut to fucking fuckface fit mouse man Nezumi, the Marine. And he's like,
mouse hut
he's shouting into the coolest snail radio
this
thing.
Is the first time we've seen those, right?
These are the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Snails?
Yeah!
So like
fucking
he
thing
talks
ever.
into like a microphone, and then it comes out the other end with a little snail just talking.
Yeah. And then when they want to send,
other guy's just like, you don't need to yell, I can hear you.
yeah. And then when they want to send fucking pictures to each other, they just have the snail look at the picture,
Really
and then it like prints out of the other snail's ass. It's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. I was like, this is transponder snails are the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Between this and episode 45, we get some fun like lore about how the world functions.
Yes,
I'm in love with Newspaper Seagull.
Newspaper Seagull. Oh, I had a whole thing about Newspaper Seagull. I'm definitely peeking in the audio. I'm sorry for everyone listening, but I'm so fucking excited. We'll fix this with the microphones next week. But fucking, oh my god.
Anyway,
that's it. Really, that's the end of the episode. It's just a fucking snail like staring at this picture of Luffy.
Yeah, we don't find out his bounty price yet, right?
No,
that's the next one.
That's the next one.
Episode 44, which I just called Emotional Ruthlessness because I wasn't feeling very creative.
I mean, this episode was very much a filler episode that wasn't... I mean, it was...
There's like, just like some heartstring pulling.
It was a resolution of sorts,
Yeah. I think people always talk about how it's really hard to end things.
Yeah.
And I think a good way to do it... I don't know how One Piece is going to end in general. I'm sure that's going to be really hard to do. But I think just like giving people a glimpse of how the characters are living the rest of their lives after the big event, like having that calm down, is a thing that not a lot of media does. Yeah. I think people like to stop dead or something, but I think like this, again, not a lot of things happen in this episode or the next episode, like in terms of like progressing the story, but you kind of get to see where everyone's at and how they're living their lives. Yeah. And like, theoretically, if you were to end a story here, it'd be like, oh, that was kind of satisfying. Yeah. Like, you could end a story about a kid getting a bounty and becoming a great pirate, and it's like, done. Yeah. Yeah, I think does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I feel like a lot of stories end up, like, they end...
Like, they don't have to be, like, the happiest ending, but it's like, how are people continuing their lives?
Yeah. Like, they could have ended this arc with, Bellamir's spirit can finally be at peace. Yeah. But then instead they're like, no, we want to show what is happening to them afterwards.
Yeah, giving some payoff to like the
Yeah.
consequence and good or bad.
Like everyone excited and reveling and having a good time, or Luffy
Yeah.
eating a lot of meat.
Partying. My background MVPs for this episode: 2 guys with a flag. They do a dramatic beach jump pause
Oh, they
at the
do.
beginning of the episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Unprecedented in media.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got everyone parties.
Zoro screaming in pain as Dr.
Grandpa stops him from dying.
Yeah, which is great.
There's a really good. He's like, "Why don't you guys really need a?" Or like Zoro's like, "We really need a doctor on the ship," and Luffy's like, "Yeah, I guess we do need a doctor, but we should get a musician first."
Yeah. And he's like, why? And he's like, I don't know. People like to listen to music.
Yeah, pirates like to sing.
Pirates like to sing.
They party for at least 3 days.
Yep. Nami asks Najiko and Genzo about like what Bellamere might think if she told her that Nami wanted to be a pirate. And
Genzo's like, "You shouldn't do it," but also Bellamere would have been like, "Fucking go for it."
yeah, or Bellamere would have been like, "You're gonna do whatever you're gonna do, so I can't
Yeah.
stop you." And Nami's like, "Great."
Um,
Zoro's drinking.
this part is so fucking good.
Is it the raw ham melon?
Yeah, it's like Zoro's sitting there drinking. Sanji comes up and he's like, "Man, I'm stuffed. It's great to not have to cook for once." And then Luffy just comes in like a feral animal with 2 big honks of meat in each hand and then 2 in his mouth.
Yeah.
And
Where'd you get that raw ham melon with raw ham on top? What? Where did you get that from that you had before?
Sanji's like, "I don't know. There's food everywhere. like, I just
No, but
found
I want
it."
that raw ham melon.
Yeah. And
What
this
is
comes
a-
back.
What is a raw ham melon? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Is it a melon with raw ham on it?
I guess.
Is it a ham shaped like a melon? Who's to say?
Hey Google. This is gonna be fun for all you people with Google. What is a raw ham melon? I get Google. Google heard what is a rock.
All right, that's fine.
Fucking.
He says, "Now my belly's full. It's time to dance," says Sanji. And he goes dances with a bunch of ladies.
Yeah.
Usopp's making up bullshit.
Yeah, he's like singing about himself. He's like, "I'm the great Usopp who defeated the Fishmen."
Yeah. Najiko's bullying a child.
Oh, it's like prosciutto on top of melon.
Interesting. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Fuck. Hey, everybody. Do you want to send us raw ham melon?
Prosciutto.
Okay.
Okay.
Najiko's bullying a child.
Yeah, I put down Najiko mocks a traumatized child.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, aren't you gonna say why couldn't this have happened before my dad got killed?"
Yeah.
And the kid's just like a grown adult.
Yeah, he's
just
like, "Nah, we have our chance to figure things out on our own, to fail and succeed on our own terms, and we're not going to be controlled by anybody." And then she's like, pinches his face.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the fuck was that for?" He's like, "I just want to mock you."
Yeah, he's eating corn.
Yeah, he's the corn kid.
He's a corn kid. Nami's getting rid of the tattoo. Dr. Grandpa is helping.
And apparently Dr. Grandpa is the person on the island who also does tattoos.
Yeah, he's a
Because
fucking-
Nami's like, "Hey, can you do this one for me?"
yeah.
Where are we here?
Um,
Genzo pours one out for Bellamere. He's just
Yep.
pouring a whole bottle of something out on top of her grave.
yeah. He's so happy for the first time in a while, and then Luffy appears, and he's like, "Raw ham melon."
Yeah. And Genzo has this dramatic moment with Luffy. He's like, "If you ever hurt Nami,
If you
I'll
ever take away Nami's smile.
yeah, I'll kill you." And then Luffy's just like, "I'm not gonna do that. Why
Yeah.
would I do that?"
Yep.
Oh, there's like, what's the bit where he's like, "Oh, my contrivances."
Oh, my conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's like, your condolences.
Yeah, and then Luffy says, "Oh, thank you." Good. Very good.
We cut to everyone's asleep from partying. Bud, come here. Yeah. Everyone's going to really like your meowing on the podcast.
Yep. We get Nami's
Ghost conversation with Bellamere.
Yeah, she writes a letter that I didn't see what it said.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. I think we find out later it says something about like, "Here's the 10 million berries. I'm
Yeah.
going to just steal more."
Yeah. From all of you.
But yeah, she has a whole conversation with the ghost of Bellamere. And then she walks as she's leaving
Yep.
the house. She leaves like a big sack in the house. When she's leaving, a hand pushes her. And
Yeah.
then she's like, "Oh, you. So ghosts are real." This is my takeaway. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, ghosts. Hey, that's fine. Bellamere might come back.
Yeah, Bellamere. Well,
Traveling. Everyone's waiting on the ship.
yeah, Johnny and Yasuko are like, now we gotta go back to bounty hunting.
Yep.
Which is fine. They haven't done anything for a while.
Everyone's like, is Nami coming? We haven't seen Nami. And then Sanji's like, if Nami's not coming, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. Like, it's 98.7% of the reason less to be on the boat if Nami's not here.
Yeah. It's good. He's done the math.
Yep.
And then Nami goes for she goes for the most badass Irish goodbye, where she's just standing at like the beginning of the docks, and everybody's like, Nami, what are you doing? You're not gonna try to leave without saying goodbye. And she just fucking dodges through the crowd like ultra instinct.
Yeah, she's like, set sail, and then they're like, why is she telling him to set sail?
Yeah.
It's like, she's trying to leave without letting us thank her or say goodbye. Yeah. And then she's like, ultra
it's like Sanji is like, you're not really gonna do it, right? And then Luffy's like, not my choice. She can do what she wants.
So then she like lands on the boat, and then she turns around, and she's like, bye everybody, and then like all of a sudden she just like drops.
Well, she starts to lift her shirt up, and everybody's like, what the fuck? Yeah, hundreds of wallets pour out,
and everyone's just like, what the fuck?
She mugged everybody.
And she's like, see you later everyone, it was really great seeing you all.
And then we find out the tattoo that she got. It's a tangerine and a pinwheel. It's a pretty cool tattoo design too.
And we learn that Genzo kept the pinwheel on his hat for Nami
because she was afraid of his face.
And now he doesn't need it anymore.
Yeah, because now she's not afraid of him.
Yep.
Anyway.
And the pinwheel and the tangerine are at Bellamere's grave.
And finally rest. I thought this was hilarious because he only had that pinwheel to soothe a little baby toddler.
Yeah, a little baby.
Which means that really explains Luffy's significant reaction to it. That he sees that and he's like, holy shit, look at that pinwheel. Because his functioning is at the level
of a child. Yeah. Episode 45?
Episode 45.
Bird Newspaper.
Yeah, you know what? That's the title of the episode is Bird Newspaper. Background
newspaper.
MVP, Newspaper Bird.
Newspaper Bird, yeah! So, I really peaked there. Sorry, everyone.
We have a little...
Sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that.
Episode that I think is just there to, like, reestablish group dynamics.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like 44 is maybe, like, a closing one, and then this one's kind of, like, starting the next chapter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, oh, look at Usopp's being goofy.
Tabasco stars.
Got Tabasco, and then he's shooting fire out of his face, and Nami's...
She's got an orchard on the ship, and she's bossing everyone around.
She's complaining about money. She's obsessed with money. She's, up to date on current events. She's the well-read one.
Yeah.
Luffy is a goofball who wants to eat food.
Yep.
Sanji's obsessed with Nami, and Zoro's like, you fucking idiots.
Yep. I guess I'm just going to hang out here and save your asses when I need to.
Oh, there was I think it was the last episode, Sanji's like, tells Zoro, he's like, you better not flirt with Nami.
Yeah.
And then Zoro just goes, why would I do that?
Yeah.
And the entire time, they're having a back and forth, and then Usopp is just like, I wonder what she's doing. Like, just talking over them, and it's just this good back and forth.
Yeah.
I really like Zoro's response to that.
Yeah, it's great. We cut to a boat that has...
Hold on.
Sorry.
There's something very important.
Okay.
Nami reads the newspaper, and she's like, oh, the world really is in turmoil. There was another coup in the villa. We're getting some world building here.
Whoa, okay.
But yeah, no, we cut to where?
A boat, and it's just full of what look like criminals and mobsters.
Yeah, this is like 100...
This is the government.
As somebody...
Criminals and mobsters.
Somebody who's played through Yakuza 0 through 6.
Yeah.
Now Like a Dragon, officially from Sega. This is like the shot you established to show a Yakuza meeting.
Yeah,
Like, they are all.
But it's the government.
It's the government. It's all these big, tough Marine guys.
Bunch of. I had the question: are the Marines fascists?
I think so.
I think they are.
I mean, did we learn last time that there's like just a world government or something?
Yeah. Well, there's the world government, and they like control the seas or whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's like 7 entities, and Arlong was one of them that like patrol they're like pirate entities that kind of control the Grand Line.
Like Corsairs.
Yeah, and then they give a cut of like whatever they get to the Marines and the government. But it just seems like the government, bunch of fascists. Bunch of fascists.
Surprise.
Mary's back.
Yeah, and we find out
Sorry.
Luffy's bounty.
Sorry, yeah, sorry.
Listen,
shaking
I'm
my head.
excited.
Very
about
excited.
this.
Yeah.
Well, the most important character's back.
Luffy's bounty.
But we do see is like he defeated this guy who was worth this much, this guy, and like goes up the list. It's like unprecedented. So they post his bounty at 30 million berries. And normally people, when you get your first bounty, it's not that high. And everybody's like, what the fuck?
So now we get like the
And this was also, they found this in Nami's newspaper.
Yeah.
So like they scream and it cuts away to this scene.
yeah. So now we're going around to like every person that they've ever met so far.
Fucking everybody. First and foremost, most important character in One Piece.
Kaya.
Shut your fucking mouth. She's the second most important.
The Mirepoix gang.
Mary, unibrow extraordinaire, will kill for his boss.
He will.
Mary's like, "Oh, miss, you have to see this. Look it." And then
Kaya's like, "Oh my goodness, it's Usopp!" And it's just like a little Usopp back of his head.
Yeah, so good. And then she like reminisces about the back of his head, and then him turning around.
Oh my gosh,
I know the back of that head anywhere.
ridiculous.
I forgot Kobe's name. So I wrote the pink-haired kid is back.
Yeah, it's Kobe.
And I wrote like Corey.
No, Kobe.
And then I was like, oh, Kobe. I looked back
he
at
got
some
taller. He's taller.
Yeah.
He got so tall.
Did you notice that Helmeppo was in the background? I remember Helmeppo's name.
Yeah, Helmeppo was in the background.
Yeah, mopping things up.
Yeah, they gotta show everybody. And I was so mad. I was so fucking mad.
Yeah, I saw you being mad.
I was so fucking mad, fucking stupid, fucking Captain Kiro Clawdor bullshit motherfucker is alive, and everyone's seeing the fucking wanted poster, including him, and he's touching his fucking glasses with his fucking palm of his hand. I fucking hate him so much.
I wonder, maybe
he's the worst.
Just hope he doesn't come back anytime soon.
I just want Luffy to punch
killed.
his fucking face in.
Sorry,
I don't mean to be so angry.
No, it's Clawdor sucks. He's a bad villain.
He's a bad pirate.
Even Frankenstein Marine Man was a better villain.
Captain Morgan?
Is that his name?
From like the very beginning?
Yeah,
Captain Morgan, yeah.
I'm not going to remember like half these people. I'm going to remember Clawdor, and that's going to upset me. But that man lives hatefully in my mind, rent-free.
Yep.
Barati is doing. We could just go everywhere. Barati's there. They're like, oh, look, we posted Luffy's wanted poster. Then we reminisce, and there's lots of like, oh, I remember that time he bowed to me.
Yeah.
Then we cut back to the Going Merry. Not Mary, the Going Merry.
Yes.
Because they're always thinking about him.
Oh, yes.
And they're
always thinking
talking about going.
on my mind.
He's. Oh, what if Mary's the One Piece?
What if the One Piece Mary hid at the front of the Going Merry?
Is that big?
This big
sheep
Mary
head?
head, yeah.
Maybe.
That could be the One Piece.
I know that ship is going to break my heart at some point.
Probably.
Yeah, because of fucking
I mean, I know at one
perfume
point.
line spoiled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, so that's fine.
Oh, okay. It's fine.
All I know is when I was watching that episode where they got the Going Merry for the first time, the historian went, "The Going Merry!"
Yeah.
And I was just like, what is that reaction?
Yeah.
And so I don't know what's going to happen to the Going Merry, but for now it's a ship.
It is. It's a nice ship. I'd live on that ship.
Yep.
They the Straw Hats talk about going to the Grand Line a whole bunch. Forget when it is. I think it's after this whole sequence. We cut over to a different ratty-looking ship.
Yes.
I don't know if you were paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Matt literally just watched this.
I did.
Like just before recording.
Yeah. Yep.
But we, Zoro and Nami are like, you guys shouldn't be too excited about the Grand Line. Like, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Then we cut over to Lieutenant Iron Fist Fullbody, whose name I could not remember for a while.
Yeah.
I called him, like, Lieutenant.
The fucking suave motherfucker who got beat up at the Baratier.
Yeah, by Sanji.
Yep.
They are like, he sees the
bounty.
The bounty's like, I remember this guy. Oh, if we go find him, I can get my station back as a, like, higher rank. And then he goes out to get all his men in order. He's just got, like, a ragtag group, and then the Going Merry just passes by.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's like, just comically, like, turn around to follow him. Then they try to shoot a cannon, and Zoro cuts it in half. The cannonball, that is. And then they try to shoot another one, and even Luffy's like, this is bad. And the whole thing explodes. And then Zoro just beats up his whole crew.
Yeah.
And then he sees Sanji, and he's like, oh, fuck this.
And then he's like, get out of here.
I guess they really were just like, yeah, this guy's done. You don't have to worry about this guy coming back.
Yeah,
he's not a threat.
Yep.
We cut to a different scene. Familiar ship. Hakemihawk. Hakemihawk's ship.
And he lands on a little island.
Yeah, and some pirates that look kind of familiar. And then we see somebody with, I don't think he's wearing a headband anymore.
He's not.
It's just got on his forehead tattooed Yasop.
Yeah.
Just good. People, you don't have to introduce yourself.
Yeah.
So we know it's Shanks and his crew.
Yes.
And then
Hawk goes on over and he sees none other than Shanks. Shanks.
Who's like all dramatic in the shadows.
Yep.
And then he's like, oh, you come back. What does he say? Like, come back for another round or something for revenge. We're going to finish this.
And then he pulls out the
wanted poster.
And he shows to Shanks, and Shanks is like,
yeah, he's like, oh, you made him, my little guy.
That's my fucking guy right there.
My boy.
So then he's trying to get Hawkeye to drink.
Yeah, Shanks clearly has a drinking problem.
He definitely has a drinking problem.
And that whole thing, they're like just super happy. Like, this is a time to celebrate. So it's cool to see Shanks back. I'm sure he'll play into things.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, how is he buddy with Hawkeye Mihawk, or is this just like a?
They seem pretty chill. I feel like the fact that Hawkeye Mihawk walks up and treats Shanks with so much respect means that Shanks is a tough.
Yeah, I wonder if he's one of the like 7 pirate folks of the Grand Line.
I wonder if this is the Grand Line they're on right now. Could be.
Let us know, or don't let us know. Tell us your theories.
Don't tell. We come back to Luffy's hometown. What is the name of the bar?
I don't know.
It's like Party.
It's like Party Bar.
Yeah, it's something like just Party House or something like that.
It would be great if it was just like Party, much like grandmother book lady.
Yeah, just party building.
Just party building, like a book building.
Everyone's really excited for him. They're like, "Look at a kid from our town's a wanted criminal. That's great."
Everyone's like, "Yeah."
The ska mayor of Party Town does not approve, however.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's just like, "No, what shame is this?" But I think he says something. I don't know if you caught this quote, but he says. The lady who owns the bar is like, finally, Luffy is fulfilling his dream, and the ska mayor of Party Town is just like, his dream or his fate, I think.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, his dream or fate. Just like, what does that mean? Because I think your theory about him being Gold Roger's...
his son, or like relative.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely related to Gold Roger.
I could see him being his son.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find that out, because they're going... to Log Town?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Which is where Gold Roger is from and died.
Allegedly.
I
don't think Gold Roger's dead.
No, I think somebody already told us.
I think historians said he's not necessarily dead. So it's like, well, there we go.
I guess he'll tell us what the One Piece is.
He will tell. Maybe.
And then we see some other pirates around. We see Buggy.
We see Buggy the Clown.
We think it's Buggy. It doesn't show his face, but it looks
Yeah.
like Buggy. And then we see a familiar ship from episode 1. Seems to be Alvida's ship, and we see a woman wearing the same outfit.
With lipstick.
And she's thinner. So I guess Alvida just changed shape.
Maybe.
And she
Or it's a relative or something.
She's the woman, if in the intro, like the current intro sequence,
Yeah.
like intro theme, she's one of the people who pops out. I think she's the only person who pops up that we haven't like seen already.
Oh, interesting.
So she might be the next villain.
Maybe she's. You want to say the villain?
Maybe she got more powerful or something, because otherwise, like, Luffy's just gonna kick her butt again.
I guess she could be the villain. I'm interested to see who the next crew member is. Is it going to be a doctor or is it going to be a musician? I do know the name Dr. Tony Chopper, but I don't think he's a doctor. I think that's his name, but I'm pretty sure he's a musician.
You don't think Tony Chopper is an actual doctor?
No, I don't.
So excited to meet
Tony
Chopper.
I am excited. Hello, everyone. This is spoilers for us. We know nothing about Dr. Tony Chopper.
I know some things about Dr. Tony Chopper.
All I know is I think he's a reindeer. And that's it.
Last week, for all 4 of you who joined me when I streamed last Tuesday.
Yes. I was one of those people.
You were one of those people for a little bit. I played, before I switched over to a completely different game, I played a good amount of One Piece Grand Battle for the PS2, legally emulated. And
Legally.
Which is actually pretty good. It's like a solid little like beat 'em up fighting game.
Cool.
It takes some liberties with the sequence of things. There's a part where you like meet Sanji, beat the shit out of Sanji, and he's like, oh my god. Sanji's 4Kids voice.
I don't even want to know. Oh yeah, is it like in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Hey, what you doing?
Yeah. He's like, hey, it's me, Sanji from Brooklyn. I'm gonna kick you.
I'm gonna kick you.
Sounds-
Can I give you a pizza?
It's oh my god. But you beat up Sanji, he's like, that was a pretty good fight. I'll see you later. And then you fight him again, he's like, I'll join your crew. You're pretty cool. So I wish we got that Sanji voice of just being like, I'm so obsessed with Nami.
I think I like Sanji voice.
It's better. I gotta find some 4Kids dubs just to see what. It was weird playing it because it was the 4Kid voices. Everybody just sounded wrong except for Usopp, who I think still had the same voice actor.
Yeah. Hey everybody, send us some clips from 4Kids.
Yeah, do it.
Please.
At
funpiecepodcast@gmail.com.
Wow, I'm just gonna. Is it fair to say if I've got something spoiled for me that I should spoil it for you too?
I don't know if that's fair to say, but
because I was just like, I'm gonna go into training mode and see what Tony Chopper's about. It was after you left, and it raised more questions.
Yeah,
but he was this tiny little thing with the worst voice I've ever heard.
Oh no!
It was like somebody's voice, like high pitched. Like a Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Dr. Tony Chopper.
I hope his voice isn't bad in the Funimation dub.
I don't think so.
Okay.
He's tolerable.
Because in the 4Kids one, in the game I played, it was like the high-pitched squeaky.
Yeah, the games also don't get the good voice actors. They just get who they get.
And then Arlong sounded like they just tried to record somebody underwater. He's like, longest shark man. But the point is, Tony Chopper, for some reason, when you hit a certain attack button, gets buff.
Oh.
Like, jacked his voice. And it just does wrestling moves.
Oh.
So I'm curious about Tony Chopper.
I'm interested. You know what else I'm interested in?
What?
Our fun segment we started 2 episodes ago. What do we think is happening on One Piece?
Let's see.
I think we should rename the segment to just Who's That One Piece? Like who's that Pokemon?
Oh, who's that One Piece?
Yeah, or like what's that? What's that One Piece? It is a picture of Usopp's face, and it looks like there's a bunch of water around him on a wood floor, and there's just the caption that says Zoro. So you think you can go to heaven? And
episode 115.
115. Oh.
I forget what episodes we said the other ones were at.
We said last episode, I think we said 117 and 118.
Oh, did we? Oh,
I said 117 because you Price is Right at me.
All right, I'm going to say 150 then for that one.
150?
Yeah.
150?
Yeah, I bet Zoro gets so fucked up and he's like, you think you can die on us?
I'm going to say 132.
Mike is right again. It's 195.
195. That's so long from now.
Holy shit.
What do we think is going on in this? I think. What do you think?
I think Zoro has covered himself in gas or alcohol, and he's gonna light himself on fire.
And
to try, because I think he's going to. This is a joke from a webcomic, Dr. McNinja. Very good. Check it out. I think he's going to be like, oh, nobody will be able to catch me if I light myself on fire.
Okay.
And he's going to try to find his way to heaven. We'll probably be there.
I think it's, I think they like got into I think Usopp and Zoro were doing dishes on the boat. Sawdust. I think Zoro and Usopp.
That's probably right.
Where they were doing dishes on the boat. And then Usopp ended up getting a bunch of dishes and water splashed on him. And I think it's just like Zoro was like, oh, I don't have time for this. I've got to keep training for Hawkeye Mihawk. And then Usopp was just like, Zoro, you think you can go to heaven? Like for like all the horrible things you've done?
But he looked angry in that picture.
Do you think you could still go to heaven? I don't know.
This is kind of weird. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like you're closer with that one.
I just think it's like a weird out of the blue, like Usopp and Zoro conversation. I feel like we haven't had much of a Usopp Zoro conversation.
No, they kind of stay away from each other.
Maybe, or yeah, I don't think so. Interesting. Hey everybody, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Fun Piece podcast, this virginal tour of the Fun Piece world and the Grand Line and the All Blue.
Did you know that Luffy would have won that fight against Arlong a lot faster if he just used his Gum Gum Balloon technique? Because I played that video game, and that's the only move I used, and I kicked Arlong's pretty little ass in like 2 seconds.
Do you think Luffy would have kicked Arlong's ass faster if he started with just a kiss?
Like he just kissed him?
Yeah.
I bet it would have thrown him off.
Yeah. I hope that happens at some point.
I don't know why Luffy didn't just punch him in the balls.
I mean, it worked for Buggy.
It worked for Buggy.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or philosophies of life, recipes you want to share, whatever.
Send us a little message in a bottle.
You can send us a little message in a bottle at funpiecePodcast@gmail.com or on our Twitter at funpiecePodcast.
Please, we are sitting on this deserted podcast island with no letters.
Nothing.
It's just us and that weird man who lives in a chest.
Yes.
Gomon.
Yaman?
Something.
Yaman? Jomon?
We don't like to talk to him.
We don't like to talk to him, so we don't know his name. But please send us a message in a bottle. Oh, do we have to do the... Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about... Yeah, we gotta do the end song. Will this work? It'll make a fun straw sound.
What is that?
No, damn it. I was trying to make a fun straw sound. Anyway.
Is that audible enough?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, here we go. It's the end of this episode. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, there we go. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow. Ski. Orange. This is Orange Bird. Orange Bird loves us.
That's my son.
Guy's got Disney pilled hard, huh?
Yeah.